Shalom. This week's Parsha is Parsha Toldos, and this Parsha recounts the many adventures of Yitzchak, and we also learn of Rivka's time in childbirth, and then they have together, well, Rivka has, but they raise Esau and Yaakov, and towards the latter part of the Parsha, Yitzchak comes to a realization that there comes a point where he has to give over the blessing to one of his children. And there's a line in Perek Chav Zayin of Bereshis, which is 27, Pasuk base, the second verse. Vayomer hinena zakanti, lo yadate yom moti. And he says, and Yitzchak says, here, behold, please, listen, behold, if you please, according to the Metsudah translation, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Lo yadati yom moti. I do not know the day of my death. And I think Yitzchak he speaks for me, certainly, maybe most of us, that we don't really know when we're going to die. And to some, to me, it's kind of even freaky to name the word death, right? Death is scary. Death is bad. Bad, bad, bad. And, there's a lot that is uncomfortable and bitter about death. There's the loss. There's the mystery of what will happen and fear, maybe anxieties about it, maybe, I don't know, but just maybe the ending of it, the ending of a life, in this life, something ending, something final, the breaking of relationships in a particular way. And I think those are hard, and I think those are real. And also, I don't think death is the end. I still have some plenty of baggage or misconceptions around death, or things that I know I'd like to learn more about, because I don't. And I imagine there's always going to be a great deal of mystery around that. And at the same time, there's a great deal of mystery around life, and I'm not as scared as that. And perhaps, but that's where my focus should be. And in the spirit of that, our tradition has many practices, or as I understand it, as taught by Rabbi Jacobson-Maisels to me, that the way death could be such a great motivator, a focuser for life. I remember Mr. Yoram Rashbab taught me that death is a gift. It's a very sad gift. But without death, would we accomplish or do what we were here to do? I don't know. I'm adding "do you hear what to do," but what would we be so motivated? And there's this meditation attribute to the Piasnecz Rebbe that I learned from Rabbi Jacobson-Maisels, is to contemplate as a motivator. I think there's also a proverb, I think it's from Mishnah, keep the day of death before you. And I don't think it's an obsession of morbidity, like be afraid of death. Ooh. I think it's more like, hey, what's the business you got to still do here while you're here in this world? What's your unfinished business? And I tried this meditation of just contemplating for a few minutes in concrete terms. What would it look like if I was watching my funeral, if I was experiencing myself being buried? Like I'm in a pine box and then just being lowered into the ground and seeing whatever loved ones are around me, and imagine in detail, like what they're wearing, what it looks like, who shows up, feel the smack of the dirt on the box, and just pulling away, almost like in a camera scene, fade out, kind of. And then what comes up for me? What comes up for you if you're interested in trying? Seeing oh, you know what? If I was going to die today, what would I wish I said or did? And then do it. And then or take the steps to do it. Because I know this life's complicated and it's hard to just, who knows what it is, but whatever it is, we don't know, we don't know the day of our death. But I think that by contemplating it, like, I might die. Did I do everything I need to do? We'll live even a more richer life, and we could do, because Yitzchak thinks about the day of his death, and he decides he wants to bless somebody. He wants to bless his kids. He wants to make sure they're all right. So may we, or at least he wants to bless one of the kids. He also ends up blessing both of them, and may we, may death for us be an inspiration to do and become all. Maybe for inspiration for me, maybe inspiration for you to become all we're meant to be, and may it help us prepare for the day we don't know when we're going to die. But when we come to face with God, we'll have plenty of good stories to tell.